All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome aboard to the aftermarket recap. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thank you so much for joining me today and every afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we do this on YouTube. Before we begin, please do me the favor. Click that like button if you love these videos. Again, it really helps the algorithm. Really do appreciate it. I'm starting to get used to the YouTube stuff. Trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. We're right around 8,200. So if you know anyone who likes these kind of videos, wants to ask questions, talk about the market, this is the place to do it. G.A.R Capital's YouTube. Please share this video with your friends if you like. And if not, that's cool too. A lot to unpackage today, guys. Today was a huge day. Now, I'm not talking about price action. I'm talking about just the market in general. So without further ado, let's go and talk about it. The Dow gained 383 points. The NASDAQ gained 2.15%. And the S&P gained 1.63%. The VIX tanked today, now below 20, down 11.88%. The small caps, IWM, gained 1.5%. 10-year yields did gain 1.463. The 10-year right now, the dollar fell 0.23%, 96.35. That helps the NASDAQ. Looking at the credit markets, high yield credit. We always talk about high yield credit and investment grade. High yield credit up 0.38%. That's HYG on your brokerage. LQD is investment grade bonds. They were bid today, up 0.13%, slightly, not too much. Looking at the future side, crude oil did gain 1.02% a barrel, 71.45. Gold actually turned around, was down, and then bounced up to 0.29% at 17.77 an ounce. 22.07 for silver futures, up 0.69%. Also, crypto bid as well. Ethereum futures up 6.17% at 4,067. Bitcoin futures 49,265, getting closer to that 50,000 level. That's up 2.91%. And gasoline futures did gain 1.5% today. If you look here at my watch list, a lot of green on the board, some red. Some of the red today were Peloton, Alibaba, Neo, Roku. Roku took a big hit. Penn was down today. Emerging markets, EEM, and Boeing were down today. We'll take a look at the heat map next. Let's take a look at it. Here's the heat map for the S&P today. A lot of green. Obviously, tech leading the way. You could see financials took a little bit of a hit. Again, was expecting more of a hawkish tone from the Fed, even though Powell did talk about rate hikes. Again, we're going to unpackage it all right now. But let's go over the S&P groups, how they did today. All S&P groups were green today. Technology being the leader, up 2.8%, as we can see with the NASDAQ gaining. Healthcare up 2.18%. Utilities up 1.5%, a little over that. Real estate 1.26%. Energy the laggard. Base materials the laggard. Financials the laggard. They were down. Energy was only up 0.13%. Financials up about 0.47%. Again, still decent gain, but not that great in terms of the broader market. Taking a look at 1 week relative performance from where we are today to last Wednesday, you can see consumer defensives leading the clubhouse up 2.88%, utilities up 1.72%, healthcare up 1.3%, while energy is the laggard, down 3.74% in the rolling 5-day sessions. Consumer cyclicals, again, down 3.62%. Communication services down about 2.01%. When you think of communication services, think Facebook and Google. They're the biggest parts of it. Industrials down 1.67%. as well. So that's where we are in terms of the relative performance and the heat maps. Let's go ahead and take a look at cryptocurrencies. We'll go ahead and take a look at the spot prices right now. You can see a lot of big ones. Solana, I just read that Michael Jordan is partnering up with Solana. Let me go ahead and read that headline for you. Michael Jordan jumps into Web3 via Solana app for athletes. And you can see Solana is up. I did not invest in Solana, so I probably missed that boat. But again, maybe some of you guys do have it. It is up 11.79%. Avalanche, I've never even heard of that. That's up about 22% today. This is an ad. Let me take that off. Here we go. So Bitcoin up 1.77%. Ethereum up 5.42%. Cardano up about 3.79%. Ripple up 0.221%. Dogecoin down about 3.30%. And Shiba was down about 0.21%. I do have investing.com Pro. I just haven't signed in. I think I forgot my password, but either way. To take a look at my crypto portfolio, I think it was down as much as 170,000 today. So a gain of about $10,000 today. Again, I look at this with you guys. It's all good. But again, I do dollar cost averaging on these names. I buy Bitcoin every week, Ethereum every week, Graph every week, Tezos, Polygon, Shiba every week, and Luna. So that's what I buy every week in terms of the crypto. And then again, it's not tons of money. It's like 25, 50 bucks a week. Nothing crazy. But again, slowly but surely you build. That's how I do it. So let's take a look at some of the headlines that were today in terms of the today's action and what exactly happened in terms of Powell. So at 2 p.m. we did have, so today in terms of the market action, we're going to move this over. We tapped that 4,600 level on the S&P futures. Again, a very big psychological level. That was kind of the support. We revisited it. We tapped that yesterday. We revisited it today. And then we just had a scorcher right after Powell's presser, right around 2:30. A couple of things that stood out to me, and here they are. Let me go ahead and read it to you. This is a couple of quotes from Fed Chair Powell. Quote, high inflation is a big threat to getting back to maximum employment. High inflation is a threat to full employment. We need a long expansion. That's what he's saying. So here we go. He also said, Fed Chair Powell, it will be appropriate for interest rate hikes in this economy. So he is reiterating that the economy is strong. That's good as well. He also stated that higher stocks, home equity may keep people on the sidelines. But there's a couple of things that really stood out to me. So this is from Carl Quintanilla from CNBC. He did quote this. It was on his tweet. He said, September, 9 members expected no rate hikes next year. Keep in mind. And now everyone expects at least 1 hike, and at most 10 out of 18 expect 3. So again, we kind of talked about that yesterday, like what's the expectation? My thing was the speed of it. Again, we know we're going to get rate hikes next year. I'm saying about 2, if anything. 3 maybe. I think I would lean to more 2 or 3. But again, that really depends on the inflation. If we still get hot CPI and high PPI rolling into the first quarter of 2022, then you'll start seeing some rate hikes as well. So again, if you're looking to buy a home, this is probably the time to do it, to lock in rates. Fed Chair Powell, this is another quote. He quits rate is also a good signal of full employment goal. High quits rates, this is people quitting their jobs. High quit rates suggest a very tight labor market. We have to make policy in real time. Here's another one where he leaves the door open. This one really stuck out to me. Fed Chair Powell, quote, if economy turns out not to be as strong, we will adapt policy accordingly. If economy were to slow, then that would slow rate increases. It's almost like they're leaving themselves an out that I've noticed at the Fed. And I think that's what the market really cheered, that they're not just on autopilot. They're really looking at the numbers every single month, the CPI, the GDP, the PPI, and also employment. I think what we saw was kind of a policy shift or perspective shift from the Fed, from looking at just inflation itself, but now looking at maximum employment. So in a way, weirdly enough, they said that inflation is not transitory anymore. They took that out of the textbook, but they're still acting like it is. Interesting enough. So here's the other one. This is the big one as well. This is almost like that patience quote that I wrote. Powell, this is quote, FOMC rate projections do not represent a plan. So any kind of dot plot plans that you see on Twitter, Bloomberg, or Reuters, again, that is not the Fed's goal. That's not what they're looking for. Here's some other things. Fed Chair Powell, quote, we are a long way from knowing what Omicron will turn out to be. Effect of Omicron on the economy will depend on its effect on demand and supply. So they're really looking at supply chain. Fed Chair Powell, quote, recent hot labor market readings mean we are watching this carefully. Rents are another thing. Another quote, I did wonder if we should increase our taper at the November meeting. They said they're going to double their efforts on tapering at this meeting. Economy is strong enough for bond taper even with Omicron, end quote. Another one too from Fed Chair Powell, quote, balancing of our goals means we could possibly raise interest rates before full employment is met due to high inflation. Making rapid progress on full employment may not have to invoke the need to raise rates before that test is met. So again, with that talk, he's saying that full employment is really their real goal, the real focus. Inflation, they already see it as, you know what, inflation is where it's at. Definitely with rate hikes, it's going to cool inflation off. That's their expectations, but they want to reach maximum employment first. So again, this is where non-farm payrolls come in. ADP comes in, the ones that we see first week of every year. So let's see what ADP and NFP does on the first week of January, which is really just 2 weeks away. Imagine that. And one more piece that I did see, Fed Chair Powell, quote, expects to leave rates at 0 until the U.S. reaches full employment, which we expect to occur next year. Right there, tell me everything I needed to know from today. And again, I opened a couple of positions. I opened Apple today, some calls. I did buy some more. What did I buy today? I bought, what did I buy today? I bought some stocks. I bought a stock today. Let me see if I can find it. I bought some more Roblox today at 98.78. I don't know where it is today. I'm pretty sure it went up. Okay, so I'm actually up after hours. So 98.78. I actually bought it right here at the moving average of the 50 days. So it was down today. Obviously, they just reported some usage numbers, but again, very, very nice on that to see Roblox at that price. I wanted to buy some anyways. But again, seeing what Powell is saying is really showing me that his focus and the Fed's focus is not increasing rates right away. They're not gun-ho about it. They're more gun-ho on the taper, which is fine. I think that was already priced in by the markets. But this right here, this kind of move, again, you're moving 102 points from the lows, again, at 4,600 to 4,702 on E-mini futures. That's ES on your screen. Right there, that's two things. That's the Fed saying, hey, we want maximum employment before we do anything on rates. That was the big one. And the second thing, so many pessimism in the market. This is literally the most hated bull market I have ever seen, period. There's always something why people hate it. I don't know what it is exactly, but they just don't like prosperity, I guess. People just don't like people to see people happy, I guess. I don't know. You name it. But at the end of the day, it's just what it is. A lot of people were caught off sides that were bearish. They were saying, hey, we're going to keep falling. And Powell put the end to that today, 47.02. So what I expect tomorrow, and again, I've been wrong before. I thought we would get this kind of move yesterday. We didn't. We had 2 red days and a really green day tomorrow. I expect tomorrow to have a gap up if we get some Asian buying and some European buying overnight on futures. 47.22 is a huge level to me. Why? Because that's exactly where we rejected. So we can either get a double top or we could break through 2 all-time highs. And again, as we know, and we've seen before, the Santa rally happens seasonally since 1950 at the second half of December. So maybe we do get the Christmas rally. Maybe we do get some continuation. Maybe some call season until the end of the year. That remains to be seen. But the last 2 days have been extremely brutal, especially with Microsoft. I closed an AMD trade I had with the team. I literally had the 145 calls. It broke support and it soared today. I own AMD. I'm happy the stock, but again, it's just crazy with options. It's so difficult, especially in this market. Again, when you were at 4,600 today, you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, we're going to tap 4,500, 4,550, and then we got short squeeze to the top. I was expecting a short squeeze, but yesterday, not today. And today we got it. So again, a great day to be a bull, obviously, a great day to be an investor if you own equities, especially growth equities, very tech-heavy equities, sure. You're a happy camper. If you're a financial investor in banks, not so much. Maybe energy, not so much. But again, if you have high beta names, you pretty much did well today, and congratulations if you caught these moves. Let's see what tomorrow brings. 47.22 is the level I'm watching for overnight as 6 p.m. hour draws near. Let's see if we get continuation in the futures market. Again, maybe we can get to 47.50, fingers crossed. 47.40 is the all-time high on E-mini futures. Again, my target for the end of the year on S&P was 4,800. We are now officially 91 points away from that. Not too crazy, could happen. We just jumped 100 points today. There you go. Let's answer some questions. Good afternoon, Chris. Chris says, what a day from red to green. What do you think on the radar tomorrow? I think tomorrow tech is going to be the one to really move. So we need to keep an eye on AMD, Nvidia, Microsoft, again, the mega cap names that were beaten down lately, Amazon, Tesla. I think those names are going to start popping. A lot of people were very much on the bear side. A lot of put volume with the last couple of days. I think now the sentiment shifts. Again, nothing shifts sentiment like price. That's really the case, Chris. Thoughts on Microsoft calls? Oh man, Microsoft already burned me once, and it's insane because Microsoft never moves that far, that fast down 4% in a day. It was only up 2% today. It's at 335, at 334.70. If we can get above 335.50, maybe we can start taking a look at the 340s. But again, we may just get a gap up tomorrow, just like we had a gap down on Tuesday. That's what it seems like the market is showing me. But again, I need to see futures. The YouTube watcher. Target for S&P continue to be 4,800 with 12 days trading days. Yes, I just said that at the end. So you probably heard it. 4,800 is my target for the end of the year. We could tap that. Again, with 12 trading days, we just had a 100-point move today. So again, that was a big step forward. The question is, do we sustain? We got the elephant out of the room. The Fed is out. Now we have really not much in terms of news until the end of the year, if you really think about it. Not much in terms of inflationary data. We'll maybe get some University of Michigan consumer sentiment, maybe some PMIs, which have been expanding. But other than that, no real big news as next week is New Year's Eve. So again, could this be the Santa rally that we've been all waiting for? That remains to be seen. Thoughts on Tesla calls. Tesla is expensive to trade, keep in mind. But again, I'm looking at it here. That moving average here of the 100 is right at $1,000. That could probably be the big level. If you want to target 1,000 for this week, it's very risky. If you want to wait for 1,000, take a look at possibly the 1025s. Again, a little more expensive, more risky. It's going to be tough tomorrow because I expect a gap up. So again, I do expect a 1 to 2% move on some of these names overnight. And then in the morning, it'll hit. I expect Apple to be at 181 tomorrow. Facebook to be possibly around 345, 346 tomorrow. Nice push on all these names. Maybe Microsoft gets to around 338, 336. Again, that just really depends on Asian buying and European buying if we get it. The Europeans have been selling it during their sessions, that's for sure. What's on the watch list to buy? That's the key. Again, I buy SpyG every week on Thursday. I wish it was on a Wednesday because I would have bought it at a better price if we hold these levels. But keep in mind, guys, again, the gap up is key. So again, I don't want to buy stocks when they go up. Again, I want to buy stocks when they're down. The last couple of days were the days to buy stocks. To trade, sure, but to buy stocks was the last couple of days. That's when you want it on discount. Do you think Friday will be red because of quadruple witching? I do. I think we'll get a little bit of a pullback on Friday, get some volatility there. But again, things could change. Again, remember, guys, I was wrong for Tuesday. Wednesday today, I thought, hey, I have no idea what's going to happen. I was just being patient. I didn't do much in terms. All I did was open some Apple calls. I'm green on them, the 180s for Friday. Give us some time. I still have some Facebook calls running. I still have some SPY calls running for the end of the week. So let's see what we get. But at the end of the day, we just have to wait and see approach. I mean, I don't think many people really predicted the move for today. I don't know if anyone really did. It's very hard to do so. Hell, I thought we would get this kind of short squeeze yesterday, not today. That's just me. Let's see. Daniel's asking, hi, bro, what are your thoughts on ATVI? Okay, side note on ATVI. I hate the new Call of Duty. I want Verdansk back. I want Rebirth Island. So I've always told my buddies, my guys who I play with, I say, short ATVI as a joke, obviously, because of what they're doing in Call of Duty. I hate that new Pacific crap. I hate Vanguard. I'm tired of playing World War II guns. I want to get back to Modern Warfare. So I'm like, short ATVI as a joke. Again, I own some ATVI in an ETF that I own called ESPO. It's a video gaming ETF. But again, to own it myself, I'm so pissed at ATVI for messing with Call of Duty that I refuse to buy the stock. If you like it, go for it. I think ATVI is a fine company, but personally, they piss me off. Sorry. Today's growth in tech, S&P post Powell with this last of the week. I expect this to continue to tomorrow. Absolutely. Friday will be different. Friday is a quad witching day, so a lot of profit taking. Last quad witching and OPEX for the year. I expect some weakness. So again, a little bit of a pullback, maybe an opportunity or two to pick up some stocks on the cheap that you've had on your radar. Maybe. What do you think happens to small caps given the news today? So again, small caps, interesting enough, they have been beaten down. Let's be honest. IWM has been beaten down. So a lot of the names, a lot of the sectors that were just crushed the past 2 days, 3 days, guess what? They bounced today. So what does that tell me? This was a short squeeze. This was a lot of people who were short that were betting that how Powell was going to say we're going to increase rates as soon as possible and that hawkish tone, and it just didn't happen. And a lot of people were caught on the offside. And this is where you get a 100-point boost in the S&P. So looking at IWM on the daily, this is not really much there. I mean, it's just sideways action. Nice to see a boost, but again, if anything, maybe the 220s for tomorrow, but I expect a gap up anyway, so you may not even have a chance to catch it, to be honest with you. I would not be looking at IWM mostly for calls, to be completely honest, just for right now. It's just not, there's just nothing there, technically speaking. The YouTube watcher also asked, will you be surprised if the S&P does touch 5,000 by the year? And that's probably not going to happen, to be completely honest. That's not going to happen. That's a hell of a call, 5,000. Hell, 4,800 is a little not out of reality either. But I would get that out of your head. 5,000 by the year. Listen, if we got 5,000 end of the year, I would not be complaining. But I highly doubt that's going to happen. I'm talking about like a less than 1% chance that happens. Let's take a look at Omar's question. What do you think about Pinterest and Snap? Not a huge fan of those companies, especially Snap. I don't want to own it just for the fact that I don't want to own companies that I personally don't use. That's how I use my core holdings. So again, like for example, I love Nike. Nike's my sneaker brand, so I own some Nike. Apple, my largest holding. Why? I love Apple, their iPhones and such and such. But looking at Pinterest here, again, nice push up 1.21%, lagging behind the NASDAQ up 2.15%. Again, some of these growth names did okay, some did not. If you like Pinterest and you're a big user of it and you love using Pinterest or Snap, go for it if you want to own it, but I personally would not. I'm not a fan of either one of them. Let's see, what do you think about, oh, here we go. Akeen is asking, do you think the Santa rally will extend the next 2 weeks or volume will drive everything out? Usually, historically speaking, since 1950 to now, let's say the last year, 2021, the Santa rally has been from December 15th all the way to the end of the year. That's what usually happens. Now, again, past performance is not indicative of future results. It's only statistics. It doesn't mean that, it's going to happen. But again, that's usually the case. Just got some news here that Visa, which I own, is authorized a new share buyback program of $12 billion. So bravo, Visa. Let's see where Visa is right now. And they're up pre-market about $1.60. So awesome. Let's see what else we got. You'll get Rebirth back tomorrow. Oh, thank God. Are you serious? Rebirth tomorrow? Thank you. Oh my God. I love Rebirth Island. It's back tomorrow. You made my day. Super Ashkadad. I'm going to ruin your name. My apologies. Tyler asks, what's your thought on Upstart? Thinks to be reversing. I bought Upstart. I own Upstart. I like that company. It is looking to bounce back. It's up 6.4% today. There is an upside gap at 308. So if you bought here, your target is that upside gap. The question is, when does it happen? Again, stocks fall faster than they go up, right? You see the volatility that we've had on Upstart from this year, the middle of October to now. So again, would it be nice to get above maybe 170? Sure. But again, I'm willing to hold Upstart a little long term. I'll take my profits, some of it at 310. It's more of a trade like Zoom. Like I also have Zoom as well and Teladoc. I like Teladoc a lot. I've actually used it. But Upstart, again, that'd be a great profit place to take it is at 310. That'll basically effectively double your money. Not terrible. What do you think about NEO? I do own NEO. It's one of my 2 Chinese company names that I own, and they were down today. Again, tapping right there, that Fibonacci level of 29.25, but bouncing on the daily. Let's see it. And again, nice bounce right there, right at that Fibonacci level of 29.25 to 31.09. How about that? So again, it is up slightly pre-market. I still own it. I still want to own it. They actually make cars, unlike some other cars that I can mention. Nikola, they don't make anything. NEO actually makes cars, so I do like it. GS is asking about Shopify. I like Amazon a little more, but Shopify is not bad as well. Let's take a look at the daily. If you're looking at the daily, you're right at the 200-day. I think Shopify is a buy if you want it here. That's actually a pretty good price. Or you can wait for 1280 for an additional reload. But that 200-day moving average right there, that's probably a really good level to buy some. The YouTube watcher is asking again, how do you see oil and gas sector performing with 3 rate hikes coming in next year? Sorry for asking too much questions. A, there's no such thing as too many questions. I'm here to help. That's why I'm here. And number 2, I'm still bullish on oil because demand will still grow as the economy gets better. So again, as the economy gets better, we get the supply chain crap out of the way and people are traveling again. A lot of people are still not traveling yet, guys. They're not there. There's people that are traveling. Yes, I have traveled to New York and JFK wasn't that bad, but Orlando Airport was absolutely packed at the TSA line. So I always look at that TSA line. And then also when I traveled to Dallas, that TSA line was insane. So people are traveling, obviously, but I don't think we've caught up to that full demand yet. Once you start seeing commercial flights really ramping up, that's when oil will start boosting again, crude oil. And I'm with the $100 a barrel target. Once that hits, I'm selling. Let's see, Matthew's asking about CVS puts. Let's see, CVS. Wow, CVS is absolutely on fire on the daily. Take a look at the hourly. For puts, I would say maybe break 99.15 first. But as of right here, if anything, the path of least resistance is up, so I wouldn't say puts here unless you get to around that 50-day moving average of 99.15 on the hourly. Wait for that break, and then you could possibly do like the 98s, 97s, if anything. Again, it doesn't really move much, to be honest with you. Let's see, what do you think of a call for NEO tomorrow? Again, I expect a gap up on all these high beta names tomorrow, a lot of tech. So again, don't be surprised if NEO goes to maybe 31.50, 32. If it breaks above 32.04, there is a resistance of the 50-day right around 32.69. You could possibly do the 33s. Again, you'd have to go for next week, if anything. So don't do it for Friday for quad witching. I don't love it here. I think there's better setups out there, but NEO isn't terrible to look at. Let's put some alerts there. So look at Caterpillar. I like Caterpillar in terms of an industrial names. I like Boeing as well, but Caterpillar has just been stuck on a range. Really stuck between 220 and around 190, let's call it. So anything to do here, if you want to own the stock, they pay a decent yield. I'm okay with that. It's a very China play as well, a global growth play, construction play. So Caterpillar isn't bad to own. They're a solid company. You're just not going to get tons of movement all the time, which can be frustrating, I guess, for those investors that are looking for more shorter time frames for the most part. Okay, guys, that was a mouthful. We went over everything. I had the best news of my life that Rebirth Island is coming back. Thank you. So we'll leave it at that, guys. Have a great rest of your day. I think I had one more question. One last one. Expectations for 2022. I did already. I sent that to our investment club. It's called Why We Are Bullish, Why We Are Still Bullish, or Why We're Still Bullish 2022. Let me see if I can get that report out to you. This was only for investment club. That's what they pay for. So I have to be fair. But I will show you the first couple of pages of it if you like. And you can see this is the report here. I do have it as, here, let me go ahead and fix that. Give me a second here. I can bring it up real quick. It's on my reports. Here we go, desktop. Here we go. Why We're Still Bullish 2022. This was a podcast as well. So if you are interested in the podcast, please read it. I believe it's on YouTube as well, so check that out. I read this verbatim and I explain about it. So again, my target for next year for 2022 is 5,000 on the S&P. Again, that's a 6.38% increase from 4,700. That's where we are right now. Anyways, my bull case is 5,200. That's a gain of 10%. I don't think we're going to get to around 20% growth that we are this year. I don't think that's going to happen next year. Again, we have second year of a new presidency tends to be weak. And then also we have midterm elections. So a lot of geopolitical issues, a really transitory Fed, I guess you want to say. The Fed is going from dovish to hawkish. So again, a lot of factors, but again, things will improve. I believe inflation will come down. I think that the COVID and the variants will subside a little bit as the temperatures get warmer, obviously. I'm not a doctor. Again, this is all predictions of anything. But again, I talk about all this on the podcast. Again, look for it on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and the Anchor app. Anchor, ANCHOR. New here, love the coverage. Q&A, are you still thoughts on China? Too early to get in still? I own NIO and Alibaba. Those two are the real China names that I own. Now again, they're not huge parts of the portfolio. Baba's more of my core one. I do like Alibaba. But again, right now it's then being down. But again, as everything gets back to normal, we're not back to normal yet. Once we do and start seeing global growth and everything get back to normal, you know, the central bankers of the world starts tightening back to normal, not as much stimulus. I think China will get back online. Maybe the Chinese and the United States government maybe come to some kind of agreement on different things. That'd be very nice. But again, very hopeful. But again, I'm willing to hold Alibaba and NEO long term as I wait. So again, I'm in no rush. I can wait for that. All right, I think that was it. Thank you so much, Yazan. A lot of great questions, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Please hit that like button. Really helps the algorithms. I can't stress that enough. Okay, I'm off to the grocery store. It's my turn to go get groceries. My wife is out, so I'm going to go get groceries. I need to for the weekend. Have a great rest of your day, guys. G.A.R CapitalFX.com is the website. What a difference price makes in terms of sentiment. Keep that in mind. Now everyone loves the life again. Yes, your last 2 days kind of really sucked, but again, this is what we get. You know, sometimes our emotions are just like the market, up and down, up and down. You're not alone, guys. You're not alone. I'm here watching with you guys. Our whole team is watching every day. We'll see how futures open. Guys, if you like up to the minute news and reports and commentary, please follow us on Twitter. We have about 12,000 followers on Twitter, which is great. I believe so. How many? 13,000 followers. Wow, 13,000. So again, all the news and commentary, feel free to ask me a question. That's the best way to reach me. You can always leave a comment on YouTube or leave us a question on Twitter. Instagram questions. There's so much spam nowadays. I don't know if you guys gotten those NFT DMs. What a pain in the ass. So, IG is not the best way to go, but Twitter is. Get a Twitter account if you don't have one already. Follow us at G.A.R Capital. I'll show you one more time. Again, we're here to help in any way we can at G.A.R Capital. There is no underscore or nothing. It's all one word. Or you can hit me with a question right here on YouTube. We do this twice a day, every day, market days. Morning note, afternoon note. Thank you so much for joining me. G.A.R Capital team, we love you. We'll catch you guys tomorrow for the morning note. Let's see what we get. Have a good one, guys.